The Rewari steam loco shed has fast emerged as the most promising steam destination in the world today. This shed was started by the Bombay, Baroda and Central Indian Railway in the year 1893 as a part of the then North Western Railway and homed meter gauge locomotives. With the end of the steam traction in the early 1990s, Rewari shed ended steam operations in the year 1993 and then for a brief period operated as a meter gauge diesel locomotive also. With meter gauge operations also ending near and around Rewari by the turn of the last century, the shed was converted to a heritage shed for conservation of live steam by the year 2002 for both meter gauge and broad gauge locomotives. The shed was resurrected to its present grand state with restoration efforts undertaken by the Delhi division of the Northern Railway in the year 2010 under the leadership of Ashwani Lohani, the then DRM of Delhi, whose passion for steam has earned him the sobriquet of Steam Man of India. The steamers belonging to this shed were brought back from distant places where they had been taken to run commemorative runs and then forgotten to rust. The shed building that had literally crumbled under years of neglect was revived to its present-day pristine glory, and the demoralized and disgruntled staff of 25-odd steam men, whose morale was an all-time low owing to years of neglect and inactivity, was filled with jest and motivated to make the old iron horses jug again. Starting February 2010, in a matter of 8 months, 9 steam engines homed here were put on steam. The entire premises were revamped, adding new facilities and attractions. 3 locomotives were made fit for mainline working, ready to work steam-hauled tourist trains. The shed locomotives are today in their 3rd season of running steam trains between Delhi and Alwar. This comeback of the steam engines has been welcomed with open arms by heritage lovers, steam fans, conservators, and most noticeably the tourism industry and the press. Rewari Shed has been the toast of the town, with the print and electronic media extensively covering the return of the Black Beauties. The shed also made it to the London Times and the Wall Street Journal. The news module, reported by Reuters in 2011, was picked up by over 90 TV channels worldwide.
In northern India, the old steam locomotive has been brought back to life. Spurred by childhood nostalgia and a love for old world charm, a small team of technicians has painstakingly restored 8 steam locomotives. Located in Rewari outside New Delhi, this 100-year-old heritage shed comes alive to the sound of whistles and chug of steam engines every weekend. Vikas Arya from Indian Railways says the group wanted to preserve the Black Beauties for future generations and show them what it was like to travel in a steam-powered train.
The way it whistles, and they have fire in their belly, and that fire is visible. And I believe for a common man that's fascinating to see a huge 120-ton engine which can move just on steam.
The shed's tourism potential was also noticed by the Ministry of Tourism, and the shed won a tourism award in 2012 as the most outstanding and innovative tourism project. Today, the shed is undoubtedly the mecca of steam tourism in the world, with many coming to Rewari only to see the steamers in action. There are many who have seen a working steam locomotive for the first time in their lives. Some youngsters now realize why the trains are referred to as the Chuk Chuk Rail Gadi. Not resting on its laurels, the shed has gone from strength to strength, adding newer steam assets into its fold, and at the same time improving the health and maintainability of its priceless relics, the steam locomotives. A year after its opening in October 2010, the shed restored the Mammoth IRS class XE3634 to working state in 2011, and then, with great efforts, restored the YP2151 to working order in 2013. With this, all the locomotives in its holdings are now in perfect working state. Amritsar Workshop has carried out the POH of 4 broad gauge locomotives and has also attended to the major repairs on other locomotives. This includes a major work like the complete change of axles of WP7200. With this, the locomotives have got a new lease of life and will remain in good fettle for years to come. The staffing requirements of the shed, which is closely associated with the issue of preservation of skills, has also been addressed by posting young technicians to the shed who are learning the art of maintaining steam locomotives. Let us now take you on a virtual tour of Rewari shed and introduce you to the black beauties of Rewari. Besides steam locomotives, there are many attractions inside the Rewari steam shed. It is a treasure trove of railway heritage and antiques, a place that a railway buff can spend many hours exploring.
This is the loco foreman's chamber at the Rewari shed. This is the place where Mr. Shyam Bihari sits and looks after his men and machines. I can see that place has been beautifully done up with some antique furniture. I can see an antique telephone, a gramophone, a radio, an antique wall clock, and some beautifully framed black and white pictures from the steam era. This is the new exhibit room at the Rewari Loco Shed. It has a rare collection of railway artifacts. That includes old crockery belonging to BB and CIR, a weighing machine dated back to 1872, toolboxes dated 1894, engine number plates, engine books, demo models, lanterns, old railway pictures, and this lovely miniature of WG. This is the shed's lounge car. It's a reminder of the unforgettable dining cars that were synonymous with the train journeys in India. In the good old days, one could get down from the coach and head to a dining car like this for a sumptuous meal. This is of course a very upmarket version of the humble dining car, created for a tourist who visits the shed. Come and enjoy a meal on wheels here while at the Rewari Steam Loco Shed. This is another prized possession of Rewari Loco Shed, a 1921 vintage wooden-bodied saloon now named as Edward VIII. This carriage was used by Prince of Wales, His Highness Edward Albert Christian George Andrew Patrick David, during his tour of India in 1921. The prince later acceded to the British throne to become the Emperor of India in 1936. The saloon retains most of its original fittings and the wooden interiors. It has been fully refurbished and can be used for a comfortable overnight stay. Come, feel what it was like to be a king during your stay at the Rewari Steam Loco Shed. This is the shed's front lawn. It has beautiful huts and canopies and antique railway benches collected from wayside stations. It's an ideal spot to have a small family picnic, leisurely spending time with some black beauties. The shed also offers some great photo opportunities. It's rather rare to have your picture clicked on an actual working steam locomotive in this 21st century. This is the shed's rest house built within the premises. This facility has 2 suites. An avid steam lover can stay here overnight to catch the black beauties on steam in early morning sun.
This is a steam-powered road roller, a 1921 John Fowler machine imported from the United Kingdom. We bought it from central India and have stationed it at the Rewari Steam Loco Shed. This machine surely adds color to this steam shed.
This is the shed's cafeteria. This cafe was built here, demolishing a security post. One can relax in its air-conditioned comforts, enjoy a cup of coffee, and watch the vintage shed and its black beauties from its glass facade.
The steam movement in India has seen a resurrection, and today we have 10 steam engines on steam. This includes the oldest working steam engine in the world, the Fairy Queen, which has been reconditioned again and has now been honed at the Rewari shed. Northern Railway has been running steam special trains for the third season now, with about 8 to 10 trips spanned over 3 months between Delhi and Alwar. Rewari Shed 2 has seen many footfalls, with visitors coming to see the black beauties in steam, and the shed has been highly patronized by Bollywood, with many films being shot here with its locomotives and also inside the shed. The latest is the highly acclaimed Bhag Milkha Bhag that has won 6 Filmfare Awards. We at the ISRS have been closely associated with these developments, and we wish the steam movement in India happy steaming.